Me llamo Sara Rodriguez, soy la gerente del programa Vivo aquí en el Teatro Silco. Es un programa de teatro que enseña clases después de la escuela en 3 escuelas aquí en Silverthorne y en Dillon. Y lo hacemos gratis y también tenemos una obra bilingüe cada año y traemos a todas las escuelas del condado a ver la obra. Yo nací en Venezuela y cuando tenía 11 años me mudé a Canadá, donde estuve hasta el 2017 y después me mudé a California. Yo me mudé a Silverthorne en el 2020 por un verano y aquí sigo. Actually, moving here and teaching theater changed my perspective a lot. I studied theater very much as like this one art form to do this one thing, and then being able to offer that to local youth in an accessible way really changed my perspective to what theater can do, because it's not just an activity, it's all the other things you get out of it. So you have a community that is now more confident, that is connecting, the peers are connecting with each other. You've got kids who are so much more confident in who they are. They're public speaking, there's teamwork, there are all these other facets of theater that are now sort of spreading into everybody's lives. And I'm really proud of that, but it wasn't necessarily what I thought was going to happen, so that was a really lovely surprise. I think the biggest lesson I've learned from this shift is not to assume what's going to happen, I guess, or not to assume a result from anything. Yeah, even though you work for a specific result and you might achieve it, but there are all these other peripheral results and beautiful things that happen from anything. So I think, yeah, I've learned that there's a lot more that's possible just from one tiny little thing. I really like hiking and I thought I would hate it. I've always considered myself to be profoundly urban. So I've learned to really love this very different pace of life, to enjoy having a smaller community, to sort of really root myself somewhere. I've always moved around. I don't think I've lived anywhere for more than 3 years at a time in a row. So being in one place for this amount of time and in a position of service has really changed how I look at life and the pace of it. Honestly, I think it's a really beautiful and complex initiative that the theater has taken. So if you're interested or have any questions, call me or email me. Yeah, I'm happy to talk about it at any point. The initial intention of the program was to support working families with what we do, because we do theater and that's what we can offer and that's what we can teach. And so all of a sudden to start with that intention and then notice that you've got families who are able to do a full working day and then spend time together at the end of the day. You've got kids who are so much more involved in their communities. You've got families that are starting to get to know each other because you've got all these kids and students who may not hang out at school, but all of a sudden they're all doing this thing together and they're working towards whether it's writing a short play or creating a sound design or performing a short scene. So all of a sudden that kind of group work gives you this connected community and this new community that you didn't necessarily know you had. I think when I do step back and I hear from families or I hear from teachers or other community members or leaders or partners, other partners in the community, I think that's when I feel like, wow, we thought of something that would be helpful, something that would support our local families, and to know that it's doing that feels really good. And it's a new program, so we're still evolving and we're still figuring it out and we're still tweaking it as we go. But it feels really great. But I will say that in the moment, I don't really think about that because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of moving parts to be in 3 schools and have about 150 children 5 days a week and a teaching team and then working on a production. Yeah,